Hello friends, I'm trying to explain this to the best of my ability right now. Pretty much, I'm starting a 24-hour readathon tonight, but I'm not going home for like an hour or so. I'm gonna be at a Starbucks. You guys don't have my actual camera on me, it's on my phone. So then obviously I can't like start my timer and like record me starting my timer. Does that make sense to you guys? Like 2 things I'm gonna be doing here. I'm going to be finishing editing a video I'm posting tomorrow so I have my laptop, and I just bring the Dead Romantics. This is gonna be the first book I read for this readathon, so I'll probably start this in here. I'm sure I'm gonna read in here probably like honestly an hour or less, to be 100% honest. But so when I get home, I'll probably like start my timer and like show you guys it like at 23 hours. We're doing a full 24-hour readathon, but just I can't film on my phone for you guys for like the time being, and also start a timer. Also reading the timer method, so I will be sleeping. I will get regular sleep, but I'll be reading. So alright friends, I'm back from Starbucks where I read a whopping 45 minutes. I did really good. But I realized because I was out and about and I actually get to show you guys the books I had planned for this readathon. I have 5, but 2 of them are thickies. So I think this actually might be enough. If not, I might like start a 6th one on my Kobo, or maybe like choose an audiobook. I think I have 1 or maybe even 2 credits still in Audible. And then I do have the audiobook of one of these out on Libby, so I can use that a little bit maybe. Obviously, you guys saw I started the Dead Romantics. This book's on my TBR now for a hot minute. I got it when I was in the US doing some cross-border shopping one time. I got this and The Reunion, I believe. I'm about like a third of the way through now, and I'm really enjoying it. But I said this one will be hands down finished tonight, and we'll probably start another book minimum. And then I had 2 books I had picked up that I want to read in February, specifically for Black History Month. So the one is Take My Hand. This one's not too much about, except that it's a historical fiction. I shot on Book of the Month, and I wanted to pick it up. It's kind of one I'm going into kind of blind. I don't really know what's going on with this one. I love going to books blind, so. Another one I'm going into kind of blind, kind of know some things about, is The Mayor of Maxwell Street. One thing I didn't know when I bought this book is how thick it was. This is weird as well. This one I might get on audio or ebook because it is quite thick. We'll see. But I'm excited for this one. I'm going to cry. We're going to finish off the Eden series. I know, guys, it's coming. And then big news, once we finish this book, that means I finished my entire February TBR, which means I stuck to every single book I put on the list. I put 15 books on the list and I read them all, so I'm really proud of myself. But I love the series so much. This is the last book, and I actually got gifted to me from my friends on TikTok, so I'm really excited to read it and let her know what I thought about it. So this one. Lastly, one that might get a little bit dicey is I'm going to read City of Heavenly Fire, the last book in the Moral Instruments series. This is a thickie. It's like 700 something pages, and I have an audiobook of it out from Libby right now. But the thing was, I had started that audiobook like in the beginning of February, so like what kind of as I was driving, and I got 25% of the way through. But if you ask me anything that happened, I can't tell you. But then I feel like if I go back and reread it, I'm like, oh, I know all this. Like, you know, when that happens, I'm like, I don't know what it's gonna be. So I might be starting from like about here. I might be starting over, who knows. So in Starbucks, you guys saw that I read for like 45 minutes and like 16 seconds. So I'm just gonna set my timer to 23 hours and 15 minutes for this challenge. I'd love to read for at least 4 or so hours tonight to get like some out of the way. Obviously, my goal is to try to get most of it out of the way tomorrow and then not read as much on Sunday, but we'll see how that goes. So we're gonna keep going with the Dead Romantics and get this show on the road. Let's go. I'm sorry for the less than ideal lighting. It is now 11:30 at night, so we're working with what we have. I am just over 21 hours and 11 minutes is what I have left. I have finished the Dead Romantics. That's upside down. I finished the Dead Romantics. I did enjoy this book. I'm kind of stuck on ratings. I feel like I need to process it more. I think it's like, while I found it cute and while I enjoyed the author's writing, because I've read The 7 Year Slip by the same author and really enjoyed it. The whole time I was like, this is a little weird, guys. It's a romance between her and a ghost. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, don't know about that one. But so it was hard to get behind throughout like the book. It was hard to get behind a little bit. I still like enjoy myself. Like I'm still think I'm sitting around like a 3 0.75 to a 4-star, probably. Here's where we hit some issues, because my heart wants to read Sable Peak, and when it's 11:30 at night, I want to listen to my heart so that I don't, you know, get sick of this readathon. However, I'm looking at my stack of books, and the other 3 books I'm assuming are going to be pretty heavy. Like, I have a 750 page like finale in a fantasy series, and then 2 historical fictions. So I feel like those are gonna be heavier books, and I feel like I'm gonna want something fun in between said books, you know? So I don't know if I know City of Heavenly Fire I feel like I'm really into and I'll like jump right into, but I kind of want to start Take My Hand, because I think it's like, is it 400 pages? Oh, not even, it's like 300. Oh, it's short. Oh, I want to read this now. It's like really 330 pages, so it's nice and short. I have no idea what it's about, so I'm going with a complete like blind, open mindset, which I feel like when you're reading this late at night, like I just need something that I can just like go with. So we'll see. I'll start reading this. If it's gonna take too much brain power at this time of night, I will switch to Sable Peak. So friends, it's 11:30. If it's only 300 pages, if I could finish this tonight, that'd be lovely. It's like if I finish it around like 2 a.m. But I also work tomorrow, but not till 10, so I'm fine, right? We can do this. Maybe. But anyways, also going 21 hours and 11 minutes, and we're going. Friends, I'm not gonna lie to you, the lighting is really rough right now. I don't know why. I'm not sure it's because the light coming in from this window. I don't know what's going on, to be 100% honest. But as you can see, I look rough, which means it's morning time. Hi. Like me and all 24 readathons, I once again forgot to stop the timer. What can I say? But I swear I did, but I don't know how it's not stopped. Anyways though, I read until page, I think it was 170 in here. I was on chapter 25, and I know when I went to go stop it, I was at 19 hours and like 43 minutes, I'm pretty sure. So we've run up to 19 hours and 45. If you guys know my reading pace, you guys know that checks out. I've been doing this book so far. It's focused in like the 1970s, and it's a big focus on like women's reproductive health, which I find very, very fascinating. I'm really enjoying. We'll talk about more when I finish, but I think I can also finish this before I go to work. I have to leave for work in like an hour and 20 or so. I can probably finish this in that time, maybe like a little bit longer, and then I have to go to work for 2 hours, like 2 and a bit. I have to teach a little bit this morning, and I'll be back. So hopefully I'd love to get down to 8 or less hours today. That would be ideal. So we'll see how that goes, but let's get started. 19 hours and 45 minutes on the clock. I will stop it tonight, I promise. Friends, I just finished this. This one of the stories I read that made me so mad, because one of those ones where it's about something truly, truly awful, where we're in like 1973 in Alabama, and a nurse's 2 young patients, who are 13 and 11 at the time, are medically sterilized without them having any knowledge what that actually means. Those books where I read it, and then I go online and it's based on true events. I'm enraged. I think it's at least a 4.25, not a 4.5 star. I did really enjoy it. It's one of the things I think is really important, but it's like, most books made me angry. Like, I read it and I'm just mad. I'm enraged to find out that was true. But there's a really good line. I went on Goodreads when I found out it was a true story. And on Goodreads, the last like line for the book says, because history repeats what we don't remember. And guess what's happening now in America? There's a bunch more laws being imposed on women's bodies. So funny how that worked out. Anyways, I'm enraged now from that one. Gotta put that aside. We are just reaching 17 hours and 45 minutes. I think I'm gonna pick up Sable Peak next. I kind of like a nice quick read. Good news, I did start listening to City of Heavenly Fire, and I didn't remember everything that was going on, so I'm good to go with that one. Yeah, I think Sable Peak's gonna be the next read, and I'll probably read The Mayor of Maxwell Street. and then tonight read City of Heavenly Fire because I have it on audiobook and ebook also. So I think this is the one we're going with next. I'm still in bed. We're shy of 16 hours now. I'm about just over halfway through Sable Peak. If you guys didn't know, I'm like a hot mess right now. Crimson River, which is the 5th book in the Edens, was my favorite book up to that point. It was rated, I think I gave it a 4.25 star. So now I didn't realize the love interest in this one is somebody we met in the last book who I loved. Fortunately, her mother died in childbirth, so he's raising her all by himself, and it's his relationship with a girl we met in the last book who I loved. So I am thoroughly enjoying it so far. I'm halfway through. I honestly think I'll finish it in the next probably hour, to be honest. Probably around the 15-hour mark I'll finish it. But honestly, these books are so fun to fly through. And I didn't even know Daphne Perry has so many series out. Holy. When you go to her lists, these are all her books. All these. So I was reading one of those little Kindle Unlimited romance series where I need some romance in my life, but I'm flying through this. I might have to take a nap soon because I was falling asleep here reading, so we'll see how that goes. But we are 15 hours and 58 minutes down. Sorry, we are 15 hours and 58 minutes in. I'm doing great, guys. For Sable Peak, we're at 14 hours and 55 minutes, like the timer just said. I think we'll start the mayor of Maxwell Street next, but however, I'm gonna have to take a little nap first. I might have to, we'll see. I'm really sad the series is over now, to be honest. I think this one is a 4-star or so. One thing that makes me angry to no bound is that all the names of these books are about places in Quincy. Sable Peak is a hiking trail, Indigo Ridge, Crimson River, they're all places, and then Jasper Vale, the 4th book, is just the guy's name. So there's a thought now that really upsets me that maybe I'm just thinking about that because I've been reading for so long. But so now we have just under 15 hours left of reading and only 2 more books left, so I'll definitely have to pick another book probably, but I'll let you know when I start the next one. Let's take a look at the timer, shall we? 13 hours. I'm about halfway, just shy of halfway through Mayor of Maxwell Street. I'm not going to share too many thoughts on it right now, just simply because I have a lot. They're all good, but there's a lot happening in this, and there's a lot to unpack here, especially where I just left off. Something extremely triggering just happened where I put the book down, so I think you should need a second to process that. But yeah, it's 7 o'clock at night. I have 13 hours left. We are going to make dinner, I think, quick, and so it's just we're throwing in the air fryer, so it shouldn't take long at all. But I think I might listen to some audiobook while we do that. We might take a little break, watch some Grey's Anatomy, or just chill out for a second because I have been reading Prey nonstop since I got home. So if I can get the timer below 8 hours, that's ideal for tomorrow. If I can reach it to 6, perfect. I would love to have less than 6 hours free tomorrow. Just there's a lot I do on Sundays. I say there's a lot I do. There's not that much I do. But on Sundays, I have grocery shopping, and I'm gonna do a lot of my filming. There's no YT will sit down video film this week, but I'm just gonna try batch film some TikTok content. And then typically also I do my starting blanket, my crochet blanket that I'm making, where I do a single crochet row for every single book I read that year, and each color correlates different star rating. So when I'm doing this reading 29 books 20 days challenge, I'm typically crocheting 7 rows a week on Sundays, and that doesn't sound like a lot. When you're making a blanket as long as I am, that takes almost 2 hours to do each time. So I normally sit there with a movie and just go, but I guess I could do an audiobook and do that. Wow. Oh, that's a good idea. Tomorrow maybe I'll do it listening to my audiobook, and then I do my readathon while crocheting it. I don't know why I saw that now. I'm a multitasking queen. Anyways, that's what we're As you can see, I'm disintegrating. That's where right now. I might make a coffee soon or have a little energy drink. I'm not 100% sure, but I am enjoying this right now, though I will give my thoughts on it afterwards. But yeah, and I realized too, but after this book, like I'm on track to finish this book with like 10 hours left. And then I'm already over a quarter of the way through Heavenly Fire. So even if it's 700 pages or so, like I'll probably finish that in like 5 to 6 hours. And then when I have like another 5 hours, I have no books chosen for, which means I can go over to my cart and kind of have free reign. I'm gonna look at the books I have on my Kobo as well right now and kind of choose one. Maybe a thriller could be fun, just kind of get through something fast. Or I could do fantasy. I don't know. We'll have to choose when we get there. Anyways, I've rambled on for way too long. I'm halfway through. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm gonna make dinner. Bye. Just sharing because I have a good deal find. For dinner, we're doing these like pork souvlaki kebabs because normally these are like $12 at Walmart. And the other week they were on sale for like $6.94. So we grabbed a pack and just want to share that. Okay friends, it is 11 o'clock at night. I have 10.5 hours left to go and I just finished the Mayor of Maxwell Street. I'm trying to rank for this. I'm feeling like a 3.5 to a 4, somewhere around that range. I found it really interesting. The main thing for me was a little bit slower paced at some parts and it was a little bit long. I feel like it could have been like at least 100 pages or so shorter if we had condensed some things. This is like what I call almost like a historical mystery. Like it's historical fiction, but there's like a really like intriguing mystery subplot to the entire thing, and there is like a little bit of romance in there as well. But I will say I didn't root for the romance the whole time. I found it a little bit questionable at times as well. Pretty much our main protagonist, she belongs to a wealthy family, but she also is doing like some undercover investigative journaling in her free time that nobody knows she's doing. And she's investigating the mayor of Maxwell Street, who's like this like undercover vice mafia kind of guy. If the book had been like solely that, I think I would rate it a little bit higher. And like I said, I didn't root for the romance personally, so I feel like that took away from it for me. Like it didn't add anything to the story. If anything, it kind of like lowered it a little bit. But I realized after this is a debut author, which I think is incredible because she is so talented. I really enjoyed this one. So now the issue is that we're at 10.5 hours and I have one book. So I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to my cart and pick a book I didn't have on this list. I could look at my Kobo too, but I feel like I want to read a physical book. I'm thinking of like getting something like short, maybe like a thriller I have on there. I know I have another Alice Feeney book on there that I might grab. So I can probably read that. Like if I pick up Alice Feeney now, I can probably finish that by like 1:30 and then just like lie in bed and either listen or read City of Heavenly Fire as an audiobook or an ebook until I fall asleep. I'm hoping I can stay up till like 2 to 3 o'clock so that I can get below 7 hours. I had the brilliant idea that I'm going to continue listening to the audiobook while I crochet my blanket tomorrow, so that'll be like 2 hours. Then like multitasking, getting a bunch of things done together, which will help me out so much for tomorrow. I just had ice cream, so I don't really know if I need an energy drink or a coffee, but I might like crack one open, take a couple sips of it. If I need it later, we'll see. But let's go get that book. Our friends, don't mind the snoring in the back. We're at 8 hours and 24 minutes. I just finished Sometimes I Lie. I'm gonna save my full thoughts for this in the morning, so I think I need to process this one a little bit. Like normal, I didn't see it coming. Alice Feeney got me again. I think it's like 4. I'm not 100% sure. I think I said this one. It definitely, like, that was a lot for my brain at this time of night. It's 1:37, by the way, so struggle with that one. So now, just until I go to bed, I'd love to get underneath 7 hours. That'd be mint. So before I go to bed, I just want to keep going with City of Heavenly Fire. If you guys know, I've listened to this as an audiobook like earlier this month, not in this readathon. 216. I'm gonna be reading it on my e-reader so I can like lie down in bed and get comfy. I'm listening to a little bit of the audiobook as well. Like I said, goals get it like less than 7.5 for sure. Let's just go to at least 2:30. Why not? Let's keep the good vibes going. Yeah, so we're at. So this is now book 5. This is book 6. This is book 6. The Dead Romantics, Take My Hand, Sable Peak, Mayor of Maxwell Street. Sometimes I lie. This is book 6. I'm doing fine, guys. I'm doing fine. Let's get this going. Hi friends, it's Sunday morning, as we can tell. I need to work on being more self-aware because every single time I've said I'm gonna stop the timer before I go to bed, it's happened 0 times. No, I'm below 7 hours because at the start I was on page, where is it? Page 216, and read all the way until here. I read page up to 388. And I remember I was reading a little bit slower because I was tired. And when I started this book, I was like 8 hours and 24 minutes, and then I kept saying I want to get below 7 hours. I remember I literally saw the clock like tick below 7, and I was like, oh, thank God. And I'm pretty sure my eyes closed almost directly after that, but I don't think I stopped it. It probably was like a few minutes, like less than that. It was probably 6 hours something. We're gonna set it back at 7 hours. So we're gonna do. I have to do groceries. I do have dinner plans tonight, so I'm hoping I can just read a bunch. I'm probably listening to the audiobook while we go grocery shopping, do all that, because yeah, I need to get some things done today. I am going to do the audiobook while I do my crochet blankets. Nice little 2-for-1 deal. I don't know what I'm gonna fit filming in though today. Don't know when we'll have time to film, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You know, it's okay. So I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna keep on reading. I'll do groceries probably the next hour or so, but yeah, we're gonna start for real, last time. For grocery shopping, we have 5 hours and 12 minutes still left to go. I just made a list. I updated my 29 books in 29 days spread here in my book journal. And I realized that this week, without even including, oh wait, there's also that one. Oh no, I'm freaking out because I just realized that I have to add on, without even the books I'm going to finish in this readathon. Like, I'm probably going to finish City of Heavenly Fire and then maybe even another one or start another book. I have to add 10 rows onto my blanket this week. That's gonna make literally like 2.5 hours. That's what I'm gonna do for the next 2.5 hours on this. I'm just going to listen to the audiobook, crochet my little heart away. I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, literally 10 rows to do. It's fine, we're fine. So that's what we do for the majority of the time. I am enjoying City of Heavenly Fire so far. I'll give more updates at the very end. I think it's giving like 4-star right now, but obviously the dramatic ending to the series could totally change that. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so 5 hours, 12 minutes on the clock. I'm probably gonna use at least 2.5 hours to make this blanket right now. I'm probably gonna sit and listen and work on that, but that's so much. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. 2.5 hours of crocheting, light work, we're good. Don't worry about me, don't worry about me. I've just finished City of Heavenly Fire, and this needs its own hot minute to process. I cried like twice near the end of this book. I'm not well. I'm not well by the end of this. It's probably like a 4.25 or 4.5, but this just closed out the series. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. But so I have a very small 2 hours left on the clock, so I don't think I can finish any more books, but I want to start one. And I just realized I think a month or 2 ago, actually, I got it. I haven't read it yet. I have an arc of Just for the Summer by Epi Jimenez on my Kindle, and I really want to dive into this because, if you guys know, I read Yours Truly by her last year and loved it. So I'm going to dive into this, I think, just kind of like a fun romance read after that, because what was that? I'm so excited to have my hands on this. I'm so grateful, and I'm really excited because it gets released in April. So I have no idea what it's about. I haven't read anything at all, but I'm really excited. The timer's from off. We are done the 24-hour readathon, but I made it to 54% of the way through Just for the Summer. I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'll still probably just like finish it and then include it in like my outro, my full thoughts on it. But yeah, I'm gonna go not read for a little bit and just zen. So also peep the showered hair. Anyways, I think it's been 3 days since I finished this readathon. I'm just getting around to outroing it now. So let's get into the books I read. I read 6 full books in the 24 hours, and I read like about halfway through, or like 40% of the way through, a 7th that I've now finished. I'll like mention briefly in here as well. I'm gonna rapid fire most of these because I shared my thoughts for a lot of these already in the video itself. The Dead Romantics is a 3.75. I did like this one. I thought it was cute. I enjoyed the characters, but like I said, my main thing with this one is just that it was a romance with a ghost. I found that hard to like root for and get behind. But I do love this author's writing. I really enjoy the 7-year slip, and so anything else she comes out with, I will go ahead and read. Then I Take My Hand, and this one's based loosely off a true story, I've now come to find out, and that makes this even more infuriating. I gave this one a 4.25 star, was my final rating that I ended up settling on for it, and it was just beautiful, gut-wrenching. Pretty much this nurse has these 2 patients who are minors. They're 11 and they're 13, and they're medically sterilized without their like family's proper knowledge because their guardians can't read, and so the document that they signed, they had no idea what they were signing. The nurse is just home to sign it. Like her fighting for them and advocating for them, and this is actually probably a really big thing in the States around that time. And so this one just made me infuriated, and it kind of sucks to see how history is now repeating itself with some issues we're having with women's reproductive rights. So 4.25. Then I read Sable Peak. I settled on a 4-star for this one. I did enjoy it. Crimson River is definitely still my favorite one of this series. I really enjoyed our female main character in this book. We met her in the last one. I just like really enjoyed her character. I was like super intrigued by her. Then learning more about her was a lot of fun. And then Mateo is the youngest Eden sibling, and I've been wanting his book forever. Getting his story and seeing the role he had to step into and kind of like how he got there, I just like absolutely loved. And I'm really sad the series is over. I think Definitely Perry's gonna be like now just like a romance author I go to on my Kindle Unlimited when I need something like quick, easy, like palette cleanser, because I just find her stories really fun. Mayor of Maxwell Street was a 3.75. Same thing as in the clips before. It just felt a little bit long. I feel like I enjoyed the mystery aspect of this book a lot more than the romance aspect of this book. I actually found myself rooting for the romance or enjoying the romance. And so whenever she was talking about the romance, I wish she was talking about something else and the mystery, in my personal opinion. But I still definitely did enjoy it. Like I said, this is a debut author, which is incredible because her writing is so great. And so to say anything this author comes out with in the future, I will also gladly read. Then I picked up Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. This one was also a 4-star. If you guys know, I'm pretty good at guessing the endings of thriller books, and Alice Feeney's is one that I normally don't guess. Like, she normally gets me at the very end, which is what she did again. But as I said, I'm kind of like lost because maybe I was just like tired and I didn't really get it while I was reading it. But there was one storyline added into this book, I think just to like increase creepiness factor and kind of throw you off, keep you guessing about who done it. But there was like some things at the end that just like happened that I think personally like didn't help us get to the ending, didn't like help us in any way, and they were just kind of thrown in there like as trauma, and it was very graphic that then the readers then had to go through for like no reason, in my personal opinion. Maybe I was just tired, I didn't really pick up on if there's any certain reasons why that had to happen near the end, but I feel like it was kind of like unnecessary graphic trauma that we had to read when it didn't really help the ending. Does that make sense? And then City of Heavenly Fire, guys, I'm so torn ending for this. I still haven't really decided. It's been like 3 days. It was a 4.25 or 4.5 because the thing is, the entire time I was reading this book, I was like, what's like a 4.25? The last like 75 pages had me literally crying. And I don't actually like, if you guys have watched my videos, I don't actually really cry a lot when I read books. Like very rarely can a book actually draw tears from my eyes. I was crying, and I didn't film it because I didn't want to film me crying. But the last 75 pages feel like were just like amazing. And so I'm like, maybe 4.5 is better rating. I don't know, but I'm just in love with this world, and I'm so excited to now dive into the Dark Artifices next, I believe. So I'll be starting that probably in March. I'll probably pick up the first one at some point. I'm pretty sure the ebook's available in a couple days as well, so I'll have both formats. I'll probably read it sometime this month, friends. And then lastly, I read my arc of Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and oh my god, this book I just kind of felt seen while reading. And I always said, since there's times in books where like these characters are going through things, like obviously don't relate like on the exact same level. Like my trauma, I don't think is anywhere near the level that this main character's trauma was, but some of the things that she was saying and being told really resonated with me personally, and I was like devastated and crushed by this book. I'm thinking it's on, kind of want to give it 5 stars, honestly. Like I feel like I'm always very nitpicky giving away 5 stars that aren't fantasy books, but I just finished this book yesterday, and I'm still sitting on it a little bit. But I'm like, but what reason is there to not give it a 5 star? And I keep trying to think of one, and I can't. So I think it's a 5 star. It might be 4.75. The absolute lowest, it's a 4.75. And characters are kind of known for like being the last person somebody dates before they find their happily ever after. And so they come with this like little plan where they're like, what if we date each other for like just for the summer, as the title says, and then break up, and then we'll each meet our person after that. It sounds like a little bit childish, ridiculous, but actually like a lot of fun. Definitely what that one to read. All right, friends, that is all for this video. If you guys liked it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel out so much. I'm also on TikTok at Angel's Book Corner, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.